We're living in really unprecedented times. We're seeing negative real interest rate environments, not just in the US, but in Europe as well. As everybody rushes to the bottom, what do you think is going to happen to the monetary system?
We always look for easy solutions when things get bad. Again, read history. It always happens. People look for something that will make life easier, and they try it. They try it. If there's a theory lying around, they say, "Oh, let's try that. Let's try that for a while." That's what more money today will be, MMT. They will try that. But in the end, everybody cannot just print money. Or let's put it this way, never in history has that worked in the long term. It may work in the short term, but if it works, eventually all currencies are debased and people have to look for something stable. Now, back to gold and silver. Throughout history, people like me have always turned to gold and silver in times like this. I mean, you weren't asking about gold yet, but look, David, the politicians and the academics and the bureaucrats tell you gold is not worth it. Gold is a barbarous relic. That's what they call it. Maybe, but peasants like me throughout history know that gold and silver, okay, it may be a barbarous relic, but I'm going to own it.
Why do you think there's such a political incentive? And this is not the first time I've heard someone say this, but why do you think there's such a political incentive for the governments to keep a distance from gold? Why would they want to subdue the populace from owning gold?
Well, historically, it was because gold was money and was in the money system. That's why in the 30s, America confiscated everybody's gold and made it illegal, and the British and other people as well. It was the money system. It's not now, but still, it is a way where politicians will lose control. I mean, in 1971, Richard Nixon said we have to stop using gold, and he did, because they were losing control. And politicians don't like to lose control. And so gold is the obvious place where peasants like me will go in bad times. And I'm not the only peasant. When things get really rough, there are going to be millions, trillions hundreds of millions of peasants like me. And so they will have to try to do something.
Gold's at $2,000 an ounce now. This year it broke record highs. We've seen a lot more interest from the retail investment space into the precious metal sector, whereas before, young people like myself, for example, have shown a lot more interest in gold, whereas before they haven't really cared. Why the rush now? Why the gold rush now? Is it because of the coronavirus?
Before we continue, help us by smashing that YouTube like button and subscribe now to this channel. This shows the algorithm that you value the information, and it helps us spread this message. Sharing is caring. Please like and subscribe now. Thank you. And now, let's continue.
Printing and borrowing staggering amounts of money. All of us peasants know. We may not have studied economics at an Ivy League university, but we know that when you print money and borrow money, subconsciously we know this leads to problems. And so more and more of us are turning to gold and silver.
It's not just retail investors. Warren Buffett recently just purchased Barrick Gold shares. Is he late to the party?
Well, I doubt it. If I'm right, gold is going to go much, much, much higher before this is over. Gold it'll certainly get overpriced. It may well turn into a bubble. I hope it doesn't, because if it turns into a bubble, I'll have to sell it. And I never want to sell I want my children to have my gold and silver someday. But David, as I said, watch Kidco News. You will see that the world is really doing strange, unusual things. Never before in the history of the world have interest rates been negative. Never and before has a major bank like the Bank of Japan said, we will print unlimited amounts of money. Sure, Zimbabwe prints unlimited amounts of money. Countries have done it, but now you have major people doing it. So yeah, this could turn into a huge bubble, and gold and silver could go much, much higher. I expect them to go much, much higher before this is over.
I actually, we had Jim Rickards on the show recently, and he mentioned you. He said that he spoke to you a few years ago at a conference, and he asked you what you think about gold prices, and you had said that gold's going to the moon, but nothing goes up in a straight line. Have we already seen the major retracement that you would have expected?
Oh, yes, yes. What I said to Jim was usually when something has a bubble or semi-bubble like gold did in 2011, and then it pops, it corrects by 50%. I mean, that's just the way markets work. I wasn't talking about gold. I was just talking about markets when I said that. We certainly had the major correction. I thought it might be a little more, but I'm not good at market timing. So no, we've had that correction. Doesn't mean we won't have more corrections. I mean, all markets have corrections, but I've been a buyer of gold since the summer of 2019, and I continue to buy.
What to do in such a situation? Inform yourself and keep your financial education strong. We from the Compact Group offer our loyal subscribers a free educational portal with first-hand monetary, financial, and economic knowledge. Enter our invite-only Insider Club by clicking the link below. You will get access to first-class information far earlier than the rest. We have prepared a special deal for all our members where you can access a giant pool of Robert Kiyosaki's financial wisdom for just $1. To find out more, simply click the link below and join our Insider Club absolutely free. But there is more you can and should do. Build up several streams of income. More and more people realize that they have to take their future in their own hands, but they don't know how and where to start. We from Compact offer our Insider Club members unique opportunities. Strengthen your financial muscle and get the edge. Click the link below. Become part of our free Insider Club. No financial obligations. But there's one important thing you have to know. You have to become active. So do it now. Become active and see you on the other side.